Hey, this is truly Jacob, a writer. And again, this is my pen writing / media name, so you probably won't see my face. But today we're going to go over a fairy tale called The Little Match Girl. I'm going to summarize it and show you some of the pictures, and then let's see if we can find some moral lessons out of it. And I think because it has a bad ending, like, I'll use my imagination to try to fix the story. So, hope you enjoy this video. Again, this story isn't very, it has a bad ending. So, again, it's a fairy tale. So, would you want your kids to read this? So it starts off where it's like snowing really bad. It's New Year's Eve. There's this little girl. She's trying to sell matches on New Year's Day. She loses a slipper. And then her feet start to get colder and colder and colder. And she's starting to freeze to death, basically. And so she lights a match, and then she starts seeing things as she's lighting these matches, and she's trying to warm herself up, and she sees like dinner and everything, and then a Christmas tree, and she's like really terrified to go home because like her father would scold her and beat her because she didn't sell any matches. So she lights another, and then there was a disclaimer in the book, or it briefly said, well, her house wasn't that much warmer than the temperature outside, and there's snow on the ground. So it's like she's in this really bad environment where her father and everyone who lives in that house is like really, really poor, and it's hard to keep warm inside the house. So having shelter isn't that much better than, being outside. So anyway, she lights the match, and then she sees her dead grandma, and she's like, Grandma, can you take me somewhere better? And so it seems like they're gonna go to heaven. And then the next day, like, the people in the area, they see her frozen to death on the ground and lit matches, and is like, oh, you tried to keep yourself warm by lighting matches. And that's the end. So, is there a moral in this story? Well, the morals that I'm finding is if this story was actually written during a time period where there was liberal laws on children and there wasn't free education granted to every child, then this would have been a moral lesson pushed to promote, hey, we need every kid to be able to go to school and get a good education. So if you're wanting to scare your kids into doing homework, this would be a good story to show your kids or your children or have them read, to be like, this is what could happen to you if you don't obey your parents, do your homework, get a good education, become a productive member in society. And then you want to bring out the point of, like, we're going to do our best to love you, or if you do get a beating, it's because parents are trying to discipline their kids and be like, okay, you need to become a productive member in society, So, or like if we had you sell matches, it would be to make extra money for yourself. So if you wanted candy, or if there's something you wanted, then you're like making something extra, right? And so you will have all your basic needs met at home. And so you can come home and we're not going to punish you for not selling matches. However, if your intention was to sell the matches and you're just lighting them off, you know, yeah, like, and you're not making any money, then it's like, okay, then your parents are probably gonna spank you a little bit because you, as a child, you're like, I want to make extra money. I want to sell some of these matches, you know, for a penny or something. So, or like you're saving up for something you really want, like a toy or something, you know, because you may have basic toys given to your children and you're trying to be like, you don't always get everything you want. You have to earn your way. So, like, if you're showing them that, like, we're creating a household environment that we're doing the very best for our kids and certain things are provided for free, your needs, but and maybe even giving your kids certain wants, you know, but it's like not everyone's made of money, so it's like if they want something that you're not able to provide for them for some reason, then it's like, okay, go get a side job and try to earn that for that special something that you want. So instilling those like work things. So it's not necessarily a bad thing for, you know, children to do side jobs to earn a little bit extra cash to get a toy or, you know, some extra candy, you know, so that they can have something that they want and they understand you're instilling those good work environments. But I didn't like that at the end of the book, it's like, hey, this little girl died. Like, so you wouldn't want to read this to little children. You would definitely want to read this to older children or, you know, adolescent, pre-teenagers or whatever, to be like, okay, it's time for you to start pulling your weight around here. So that's what I would use this book for. But my imaginations and in overdrive now, or like activated from reading this book. So how would I make this a beautiful, wonderful story? So this is these ideas coming into my head that what if you had this world, or you created this world, and there was different lands on top of each other. And there was this special match, or these special matches, and they were designed a certain way where it's like she didn't even realize what she had because she never used them before, but she was trying to sell them to people. But they looked different than all the regular matches of in the land that she is. Well, she lit the match and she started to see things, and maybe the environment actually got warmer because, again, there's different lands on top of each other, or another word for it would be like different realities or different land realities, different lands that have different temperatures on top of each other. And so as she like lit these different looking matches, and even the wood felt different than an ordinary match. Like, it actually made her go to a better and better and better environment. And so she really did end up going to heaven with her grandma. And her grandma never really died. Her grandma just ended up going to a better reality and ended up living in heaven. And then what happened is the bottom land, which is the worst environment and the harshest environment, it shows you're going to more and more positivity, and the world or the universe is less and less harsh because you're going to you're learning how to become more and more and more positive, so you can stay in that more positive environment. And so maybe even along the way, it's like before she even got to her grandma, you could create a reality where it's like technically there were pots of food out on the street, and there was fires and the snow wasn't as cold. It's like the snow temperature changed to feel like the weather of fall, like so 50 or 40-degree weather or whatever. And then there was a place to get new shoes or whatever. And so she got new shoes to cover her feet and socks to keep her feet warm and everything. And she got a meal, and then she lit a match. And it's like her grandma was able to come and get her. And then in the very worst reality, because you still like, it could be lands on top of one another, but or it could be just like different realities on top of each other. And so like, to go to these other realities like the next day, it's like those people, it's not really her dead body, but there's something put there in her reality that it's like, it looks like it would be her dead body. And so the people of the worst reality, where people are more cold and more negative, they actually find her dead. But meanwhile, she's really with her grandma in heaven, because her grandma was the one that loved her the most. So, I don't know. That's kind of how I would like change the story. That it's like she was able to become more and more and more positive. So she ended up going to heaven and seeing her grandma and everything working out. And her grandma instilled morals into her. Learn to be positive. Seek a better life. Do your best to be successful. Do your best to help others. Do your best to be positive. And eventually you'll find a way to go to a better land. I don't know. That's kind of how I would change the story to make it better. So again, those are different ideas of, can you find the moral lessons when there is this story that has a really bad ending? Can you use it and spin it and twist it and help you to become more positive, or help your kids to become more positive, or your children or teenagers to become more positive? So, if you have any ideas of a moral lesson or something you got out of this book, feel free to put that in the comment section below. If you liked this video, feel free to like and subscribe to this channel. So, hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time.